I mean, is it clapped out enough to do like a 20-mile commute to work and then tinker on the weekends?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I mean, like, so you'll buy it, you'll do like all the fluids like you do when you buy a used car,
yeah,
and go through it and see what's dire.
Right. You're like, oh, brake pads,
yeah,
whatever. Yeah,
and
then
it's definitely something you could slowly build and make, replace parts as you're driving it. And then if you get an NC1, just immediately set money aside for either an NC2 or NC3 front bumper, because they're ugly. They're so ugly.
Green flag.
Welcome to the Blind Apex Podcast, where amateur club racers tune in to get faster.
This episode is brought to you by Deech Works Fuel System. Use Apex 10 at checkout to save on fueling your passion. I'm currently surrounded by Mazdas. It's a little scary. I might get stabbed. I don't know. Actually, the ambiance is actually pretty good in here. I love being in a race shop. I love doing remote stuff. And since we're talking Mazdas, we're definitely talking about Miatas. This is for all the people who I haven't convinced to buy a C5 Corvette yet, and you're still stuck on the Miata. I want to talk NA, NB, and C, and D. So we're at RP Performance out here, Summit Point Road, right across the street from Summit Point Raceway. Joining me, I stalked him a little bit. He hikes. Do you still play the drums?
Yeah.
See, that's tight. and he plays with Miatas. So, Dave, welcome to the podcast, man.
Oh, thanks for having me, man. We are surrounded. We have just about every generation Miata here.
Oh, there's non-Miatas here, which make me feel safer. It's my safe space. I probably should get closer to that FRS BRZ over there.
Okay.
But yeah.
we can move over there if it makes you feel better.
They have rotary cars here. They have, and every generation. No,
we do not have an ND currently here.
Yeah. Okay.
But we've got three generations, we've got all the rotaries, actually. We've got an RX2, first gen RX7, second gen we're just about underneath of.
Yep.
And then there's an FD on the lift over there. That one's pretty wild. And then we've got RX8 out front, which don't. If you're thinking RX8, don't do it.
See, I'm going to point you to a prior podcast where I want to swap a RX8.
Well, there you go. Okay, if we're swapping, then fine. But get rid of that rotary that's in it. They're junk.
All right. So, Dave, how long have you been in the Mazda Miata type game here?
I've been working on Mazdas for over 10 years. My dad got into racing, got back into racing when I was like a senior in high school. Got a Miata. We went racing again. He did improved touring though, so it wasn't a spec series. And then got hooked up with Brett, worked with Brett for a few years, then I actually lived out west and worked at a race shop out there doing BMW stuff and hot rods and I mean everything at that shop that came through there. It was wild. And then came back to Miatas and Mazdas, and I've worked with Brett. I've worked with Planet Miata, Mark Cefalo out in Pennsylvania. I've done a bunch of crew work for him. Those guys are great. If you need used parts, we've got some, but if we don't have it, they've got it.
Yeah, I think that's part of the Mazda Miata way is you have to have a graveyard.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
we need more NC chassis. We've got a couple NA and Bs to get us through our race seasons, but as the NCs get more popular, we are needing more and more parts. So I'm starting to look and try and find some cheap ones, but
I need a cheap one.
Yeah, they're out there. The NC1, so 2006 to 2008, those are really cheap, and the cars are basically all the same from 2006 to 15. They just went through like facelifts and different side skirts and trim and stuff like that. But
still a 9-10 year run of the car.
Good.
There's got to be plenty of them out there.
They're out there. There are cheap ones for sale. I mean, in this day and age, bang for buck, NC. You can get a running NC that's in decent shape for as much as you'll pay for like an NA that's clapped out and been swapped or messed with.
Let's start with the NA because it's everyone's favorite, right? It was the first one.
They're great. They're tanks of a car. They were, the engine is a turbo engine that they took the turbo off of and slapped it in a rear-wheel drive car, and the engines are just so bulletproof. There's like oil squirters for the pistons, there's windage trays, and they only make 100 horsepower. So from the factory, they're and like no torque, so they just last. They just last forever with good maintenance. I mean, I've seen. I think Brett's Miata, his NA18 has almost 300,000 miles on it.
I mean, when you over-engineer them and then don't push them, then
But the problem now is they're older. They're starting to have issues with their wiring, and in the race car, their older parts are still very plentiful, but some odd stuff is getting kind of hard to find. And they're just older cars. I mean, so more and more of them are rusty, more and more of them are beat up, or some kid had it and slammed it and the underside of it's a wreck.
Yeah, they scraped it on everything.
Yeah,
driving down the road.
Crashed it into a curb and the control arms are bent up on it and just stuff like that. And then the NBs, similar story. I mean, they're basically the same. They're the same chassis. I mean, you can bolt the subframes are like interchangeable. The racks or mounting points are different on the NB, but that's about the only difference. And yeah, I mean, the NA is what started Spec Miata. That's the spec racing. People, club racing either started or died with Spec Miata, because it used to be these crazy fields of all these different cars, and then I think it became more and more affordable for people to get into racing and more interesting maybe to them when they started seeing fields of 40, 50 cars that are all the same.
I mean, it's 2026. If they're 20 or 30 in a region, that's probably a good weekend right now. But
yeah,
in the heyday, 50 or 60, and it was wild.
Yeah. But going back even further regionally, well, and a little more than regionally, but Spec RX-7 is kind of what started the Spec Mazda class racing. And those also brought like 50 cars on a weekend starting.
Right. But it was, I don't know much about the Spec RX-7 series. It was first gen, right?
Yep. All first gen.
All first gens. And I don't think the rules were as tight.
They were pretty strict. There was just less you could do, really. It was bolt-in roll cages and springs, tires, and brakes. And eventually, like, you still had to... People were... I think initially you had to have some of the interior bits in it. And then also you had to have the catalytic converter still on it. And it was a huge problem. It was like catching grass on fire. They break down, they're in the dry grass. Oh yeah. So eventually they got rid of that. And they had like little tweaks here and there along the way. But I remember watching that class at Summit as a kid, and they're all coming through into 6A and they're lifting off, and fireballs are coming out the rear. It was like the coolest thing when you're 10 years old.
Oh, for sure. So, okay. So the NANB, very spec centric initially, right?
Yeah.
And then we started seeing these cars in IT, and we started seeing them in the ST classes for NASA. You start seeing people do crazy things with them. I mean, the little teeny car with the little teeny engine has a gigantic wing, a huge splitter setup, and they're running some time attack series, right?
Yeah.
So, and I think the reason these cars are still around is because Mazda has such great support, right?
They do. They're one of a few manufacturers that actually support club racing in multiple forms. Even like autocross, they give you a Mazda discount if you can turn in time slips and competition results, you get support from Mazda.
Yeah. So everybody, all the other manufacturers, please step up a little bit.
Yeah, for real. I mean, I think that's a huge part of why there's so many people running these cars is because they get factory support. They can call Mazda and ask for parts and see what they need, ask for advice and talk to Mazda and get the things they need.
So outside of the spec series, which they tend to be pretty durable, when you start cranking up the power, when you start adding downforce, are there things in the NANBs that fail or wear faster?
If you're cranking power, I've got a turbo NA8 out front here that's stock drivetrain and it's lasting, but it's only like 8-10 pounds of boost. I think you go pushing any more power than like 200, I think everything behind it is going to be a problem.
Okay.
Drive shaft, transmissions, drive shafts, diffs, axles. It's everything in the drivetrain is getting just pounded. Right. And we already see some issues even just racing them without any power adders. In SSM, these cars make 107 horsepower to the wheels. So, and I've seen multiple diffs blow up. Now, granted, the 1.6 has a smaller ring gear and it's a tinier diff housing and there's not as much fluid, but it still happens.
This is the cute economy car, right?
Yeah, it's the hairdresser car. Everybody calls it that.
But look, we're just as guilty. I drive Hondas. We take Civics, which were meant to get you to the grocery store, go to work, come home, on the cheapest way possible. If you were a big family man, you got yourself an Accord, right? Okay, there's still economy.
And all you did
cars.
was change the oil, and it just kept going.
Right? Yeah. And brake pads, rotors, change the oil.
Yep.
100%. Most people are ignoring. They're not flushing their brake fluid.
Yeah. No.
I bet you most people let coolant evaporate out of their systems.
Yeah, and then it overheats one time, and they put coolant back in it, and then it keeps running for another 100,000 miles like nothing ever happened.
Yeah. So we're taking cars that were not intended to do what we're doing with them. So they're definitely going to have weaknesses, but I just wanted to make sure that people understand that, it's not necessarily, it's a tank as far as a race car goes.
Yeah.
Race cars are generally moody. They don't always stay together, but they do have issues. You should address them. They do need maintenance.
Yeah,
right?
Maintenance is just the biggest thing. Even racers, I just was talking to a guy a couple of days ago, and I was like, "Yeah, man, after this test day, you're gonna need to change all your fluids." You did you're telling me you did 100 laps? He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, you want to change engine oil, trans, and diff?" He's like, "Well, I haven't changed my trans fluid in a season or two." I'm like, is that a joke? Or he's like, no. I was like, dude, you have to change those things. So yeah, with basic maintenance is always going to help everything last longer.
Yeah.
Oil is cheap. Differentials, transmissions, engines are very expensive.
Yeah, relatively. This is 2026. We do have conflicts going on. Prices are going up, but
prices are going up for engines. So
it was
$3,000. It's probably $5,000 now to have an engine gone through and rebuilt, and even on just a cheap stock rebuild.
Yeah,
that buys an awful lot of oil.
A ton of oil, right? So, okay, so we're sitting right next to your NC.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I believe this is the new hot ticket. This is why I looked at the RX-8 because they share a lot of parts.
A lot of parts.
This is the short wheelbase RX-8 essentially.
This has RX-8 front hubs on it.
Okay.
Like they just bolt right in and are an upgrade for the NC.
And is that just due to wheel bearing size?
Yeah, I think the ball bearings inside of those are much bigger than the NC ones, and so it's a really easy, simple maintenance upgrade,
right?
That you don't have to think about it really again.
Wheel bearings are gone on the front. Let's get some heavier duty, supported by Mazda still.
Yeah, they're just stock Mazda front hubs.
Okay,
that's another thing I've seen a lot of issues with over the years is like the aftermarket parts for race cars are not very good. Like Mazda hubs, I've seen we were getting like Timken like name brand stuff, and we had problems with front hubs failing, like the flange, not the bearing. The flange broke and sent the wheel.
Oh, exit
out.
the check.
Yeah. And I saw it happen in 10, I think twice.
Oh,
and so, yeah. Oof. Yeah. And so we saw that happen a couple times and we're like, yeah, we're not doing this anymore. We're just buying the Mazda brand from Mazda hubs.
Yeah.
And we have not had that failure since.
I mean, we Honda heads like to do that also, except for if your chassis is too old, you can't get that stuff anymore. So
yeah, and to Mazda, another thing to Mazda's point is like they're still selling. I can still go buy a brand new hub for the NA from Mazda.
So we were talking before we hit record about your NC. Okay.
Yeah.
What is the intent of your NC, and then what have you done to make it meet that intent?
So me and my buddy have been building this. I roped him into it somehow. I don't know. He trusted me.
Peer pressure.
Yeah. I said, we need an enduro car. He said, yeah, you're right. Okay. That was about all it took.
See, the arm was twisted way up behind his back.
So we started building this, and I had the idea. So Camden Gruber, he's been running SMX for a few years. This tub actually came from him. They pulled it for parts, and then the chassis was kind of up in our field up here. And then I was like, what are you guys doing with that? And they were like, oh, we're going to go scrap it next week. I'm like, no, if you can leave it right there, that'd be great. And so that's how this started. And basically we're building it into an AER car. So we're building it for enduros. And so every part and piece, I've kind of been building it with that in mind. So anything upgradable that I could get, I put on here.
So it says E4 on the side. Is that your class?
No, this is actually a fender from an old enduro build that we salvaged out of the trash. They were just going to throw it away, and it's scratched up, but
boo-hoo.
Yeah, right. No, the way AER does it is you go out on Friday and qualify. It's like kind of like a bracket setup.
Oh, okay.
And so I have no idea what class I'll be in for that. So,
but it's arrowless.
Yes, intentionally.
Intentionally, okay.
Yeah.
Mechanical grip only.
Mechanical grip only, because if I crash the car or it gets crashed and I lose the front splitter or somehow the wing gets broke off, more so the splitter, that changes the setup and the handling of the car immensely. And so not only are you scrambling to get parts fixed, when it goes back out, it's not going to be handling anywhere near the same because it doesn't have that front end grip anymore. So, I mean, like spring rates are going to be different, all that. So I'm trying to avoid that. So that way, if there is an incident, I can go out there and get the alignment and everything pretty close, and it's going to handle relatively close to what it did before the wreck.
Okay, that's fair. I just wanted to set the stage. It's audio podcast, so I just wanted to make sure people knew.
Yeah, most people do. I mean, in AER, like most of the cars I see have aero, but it being an enduro, that worried me. So
yeah,
and the car is fast. I mean, it's quick. We just did a test day in it, and we finally sorted everything out and got some good times. It's got a lot more in it, but that test day went the best I've never smiled so much getting out of this car until this past Thursday. Once we had everything dialed up.
I mean, that's the goal. We were talking actually with a customer, I guess here.
That's Matt. That's Matt Stutt. That's who I'm building the car with, actually.
Okay.
So
yeah,
he's a good buddy of ours.
So, I mean, the object is to smile. So we know you have your scratched fender out of the trash can. We have brand new from Mazda RX-8 front hubs. What
Yep.
else is going on with this car?
The rear hubs have been upgraded. Mazda sells a billet hub flange that accepts the MX-5 axle, so you don't have to like put together a hodgepodge axle setup to run RX-8 bearings. So that flange is a billet flange that adapts the RX-8 bearing to the MX-5 axle.
Okay.
And so another just beefy part to eliminate any.
And then simplifying your axle choices.
Right. Like now if I wreck an axle at the track, all I have to do is find somebody with an NC.
Right.
Hopefully.
Or in no Frankenstein axle.
Right. I don't have to try and piece it together on the, and waste a bunch of time.
Well, time and energy, and hopefully they're all the same from the same manufacturer, and
Yeah, like trying to rebuild, trying to find or buy, because then you're like, well, they're on the NCs, the axles are different side to side. So now you have to have a spare, but you have to have two spares. So now you're spending money on 4 axles, 2 for the car and 2 spares. It's like, it just adds up really quick. And then, there's not a ton. I mean, the motor is just a
2 liter?
Yeah, just 2 liter, 130,000 mile engine out of a parts car. Transmissions, brand new crate transmission from Mazda with their upgraded bearing retainer. The factory one's an aluminum piece that holds the end plates on the bearings.
So were there two? This is me doing research and trying to remember what I did 9 months ago, but were there 2 different transmissions in these cars?
I think there's 3.
Okay.
So there's the 5-speed, which is glass. Don't race that. That's what was in this car, and it drove terrible around Summit. It was like the 2-3 shift was so sad. He would be like winding it out, and then you'd shift the gear and just like, oh man.
Flat on its face.
Yeah, and so there's the NC1 6-speed, which has some issues with it. I think that the gear ratio is better in the NC1, but there's internal parts to it that are not as good. And then the NC2 6-speed is the one, like if you were just trying to buy a used one, that's the one you want.
Okay.
But Mazda sells update kits. And if you have a 6-speed, I would, it's a couple $100. And like I said, it's a billet retaining piece. And then there's a bunch of plastic needle bearings in there. Like the cages for the needle bearings are plastic from the factory. So they sell metal cages, and it's not the easiest thing in the world to do, especially if you've never done a transmission. It's definitely pretty involved. You got to take the whole thing apart and put it all back together.
Yeah, I'm not down with that.
Yeah, it's but I know people, so
okay, that's fair.
And then on the back end in the diff, it's stock ratio 4:1. And Mazda sells a diff cooler sandwich plate that goes between the carrier and the cover, and it has all the ports for oil cooler lines, and it adds capacity. It's like a 3/4 of an inch thick aluminum piece, and it comes with hardware and everything, and makes it really easy to plumb a pump and cooler too. And it's got ports for the lines and for a temperature sensor, and the way they have it plumbed, and it basically squirts the cool fluid directly on the ring gear.
Okay.
So it's a really nice piece. Very expensive. Some of these parts they're very proud of.
I mean, I don't know how much you've shopped other manufacturers, but
I try not to.
They're all pretty proud of their stuff.
Yeah, Mazda Motorsports is really happy with their stuff, and sometimes it's. I don't mean to talk anything bad about them, but some of the prices, I'm like, really?
But at least you can get it.
You can get it sometimes,
and it's thoughtful. Like,
yeah, that was a really nice piece. Actually, there was a lot of time and effort spent into developing that. It shows. It's very nice. It made doing that really simple. because otherwise you're like drilling a hole in the carrier and through cast iron and threading it
and then you're like, well, I hope this doesn't leak too much.
Yeah.
Eventually it will.
You're using all the sealant on it and you're like, hopefully that doesn't get in there.
Right.
And then as far as performance upgrades, that's really it. It's on Olin's DFVs with Swift springs.
Okay.
I think AWR sway bars.
You're on Hancooks, it looks like.
Yeah, I'm running the RS4s. They're not the fastest thing in the world, but they're very predictable, good in the rain, and they last forever.
Yeah,
they just last.
Iron for.
I ran an enduro at the last shop I worked at, and it was an E30 it was the shop car, and we ran. It was with Lucky Dogs, so you had to run those, and we ran 2 8 hours on the same set of tires. It was insane. And both stints, I was like, how are these still holding together? And it was through mixed conditions too. So it was raining, drying, pouring, and it just kept making laps.
And what size are you running? Not
so
huge.
so the wheels are also from Mazda. They're Ray's, what are they? The ZE40s. Anyway, they're the Spec MX-5 wheel. You have to run those in Spec MX-5. So they're a 17x8. And the tire is a 245 40 17.
Okay.
And it fits without. Well, you got to roll the rear, but
Woo-hoo.
Yeah. I figure that's standard operating procedure for race cars.
Yeah, most track cars were rolling something. Come on now.
And then stock brakes, upgraded pads. Oh, I do have brake cooling going to the front.
Okay. Stock brake calipers and all that jazz.
Brand new.
Okay.
Yeah, anything I could get new from Mazda that I thought might be an issue. So like calipers, I did a brand new rack, brand new alternator. Like some of that stuff is like, wow, that's I think it was like $400 for the steering rack with inner tie rods. It's
not bad.
Yeah.
Is there a spec series for these?
Yes, Spec MX-5.
Spec MX-5. Okay.
So they started that pre-COVID. And it kind of fell on its face because of COVID and because of the cost. It was the part list is very expensive. If you had a shop build you a Spec MX-5, you're probably 75, 80 grand.
Okay.
With, getting a good parts car to build and then cage, all the safety stuff, and then all the
labor
spec
and then the spec part sheet.
I mean, everything is spec'd out.
Yeah.
I mean, earlier this year, there was a debacle with people running not a Mazda oil filter, and they got booted. I'm not kidding. That class is very serious.
Okay.
If you want to go spec racing, that is spec racing.
Oh, okay. Mazda. All right. I mean, I do use Honda oil filters, but
it says in the rules, man. Their rules is rules.
I
don't know why you wouldn't, especially if you're building at that point you probably have a Mazda account, so it's like, why not run the Mazda oil filter anyway?
Yeah. I don't know.
But I agreed, it's a little ridiculous, but it is in the rules to do that. Anyway, so a lot of the parts on this car are from Mazda building that series.
Okay.
But that part list is pretty big. It is, like radiators and oil cooler setups, like all this stuff that you have to run. Like there's no like you have to have the inner fender liners, got to have the under tray, have to have like under the hood. There's like little weather strips that need to be there, but there's like little holes that it's crazy. But it's a really good class. I mean, if anybody's been following it, it's some of the closest racing that's come out in the last couple of years.
Yeah. So but we talked earlier, not on the podcast. This is an option for me for a 1-lap car. So, and you said swaps go in here. So specifically, you mentioned the 2.5 swap.
Yeah,
goes in pretty easy.
It's almost drop in. So 2.5 out of, you don't want to get it out of a Mazda because the wrecking yards want big money for those. So you want to get it out of like a Fusion, an Escape, I forget what else. There's a couple of Ford cars that have a 2.5 MZR engine in them. And when you swap one of those into a Miata, especially with cams, it is like, this is how it should have been from the factory.
Isn't that always the way though? Like,
so we did one of those swaps the beginning of this year, end of last year, and it came out awesome. I mean, the thing picked up, it was like 50 horsepower. Maybe more. I'd have to pull the dyno sheets back up, but it was a lot. It ended up like near 200 horsepower and near 200 foot-pounds.
okay.
So a really square motor, and the low end torque that you gain with that swap is incredible. It makes it so much more drivable. Like 6th gear, you can step on the throttle and you're going.
Forward.
Yeah. And it's a stock engine. I mean, and you can get them, they're like low mile. Like that one we got was like 70,000 miles on it. But it is a little involved. So you got to pull the oil pan, you got to pull the front cover. It has balance shafts like Honda's. So you pull those off and there's a little plug that you have to do.
Yeah.
Now you don't have to drill the girdle like you do on a.
I don't have to drill the girdle either anymore.
Oh, good. That I remember I had to do that for K8. I think it was a 24.
Yeah.
It was out of an Atom and it was turbocharged and he wanted to rev it more. And so, yeah, anyway, we pulling it all apart. First K motor I ever worked on, I'm pulling the whole engine apart and drilling the girdle to plug off these oil holes. It was a little nerve wracking.
It happens. Honda life.
Yeah, but it worked. Once we got on the dyno, I'm like, please make oil pressure.
Yeah, there was always that problem, but whatever.
And then I think that's really it. You got to like grind the front cover a little bit because the pulley placement, the belt kind of runs through because it was in a front wheel drive car, so the mount there protrudes a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, other than that, and then everything else is like stock parts, so stock motor mounts. I mean, there's no.
Are you swapping, since it's a front wheel drive? Are you swapping pans or pumps or anything?
You do have to put the 2 liter. Yeah, you have to put the 2 liter pan on and the 2 liter and the and you have to use the 2.5 front cover because it's taller.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously, I think you use the 2.5 dipstick because
you got to hit
it's
the
taller.
pan, yeah.
It's in the deck that it's taller. So, pardon me. But it's pretty. Aside from that, I mean, it's involved. But as far as swaps go, we're still working on.
Sorry, we're being adults here.
Yeah. And the power you gain is really awesome. The torque, especially. And you can't rev it out as much because I think it's a longer stroke and the rotating assembly is a little heavier. But like $7,000's no problem.
And what's that do as far as like gearing and stuff?
It's incredible.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
no problem.
All we did was, we put a newer 6-speed in that car just because that car had 200 and. It was a lot. It was something crazy.
I mean,
it was like 280,000 miles or something like that.
You're putting a new engine in.
So we found a newer NC2 6-speed, put that in it. But yeah, it's the same gear ratio in the rear, and it drove amazing. I mean, it was, like I said, that's how that should have been. That's how much power should have been in these Miatas from the factory.
The only issue I have with this as a 1-lap car is space, right?
Yeah.
It's not a lot of space in there.
No, you're gonna probably want like hand cooks on it so that you can not have to worry about tires too bad.
A plug kit. So
you definitely don't want to be changing tires or have to change tires because there's no room to put anything in them. The roll bars are, I don't know. Yeah, if you're doing a 1-lap car, you'll need a roll bar. They're kind of a pain if you want to keep the trim inside. It's kind of
we just take stuff to Piper to be all right.
Yeah. Or you can bring it to me. If you want it welded in, I'll do it. That's not a problem. But yeah, space is a big problem.
Yeah. So, all right. It's a podcast, so we're going to go off topic real quick.
Yeah, sure.
And the RX-8 space versus the NC space.
Significantly more.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you have a rear seat in the RX-8
Right.
that you could put, all tools and like your clothes.
It wouldn't be there, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, but the space is
space
there. I'm
is
not
there,
saying
yeah.
obviously get rid of the back seat, but
Okay.
that space is there.
They're just so clapped out.
They are so clapped out. You're not going to run the rotary in it. So now you're already like definitely swapping it.
Yeah.
With something. I don't know what. So now the price is going up
yeah.
exponentially.
Yeah.
Everybody says, you can do a swap for whatever. It's like, even the swap that we did, the parts that go into that, because the car had so many miles, we're replacing the whole cooling system. We're going through everything. These $10,000 swaps. It's like, okay, but you could do it, but something's gonna break.
Yeah, as it was before,
yeah, and now now it's swapped. So who knows what else is gonna go wrong with it?
Everything.
Yeah.
That's what happens. So yeah, if you don't go over them with a fine tooth comb, they have problems, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not huge on the RX-8. I mean, to make them good, it's like I don't know. If you put a V8 in it, I mean, then now we're kind of talking. When you put an LS in it, that would be exciting.
Yeah,
but
that's a
lot.
Either,
that's a lot of work.
Yeah,
that's a ton of work.
Yeah. You're not wrong. It's just I'm going to end up buying an 8th gen Civic sedan, using all the cast offs from my race car.
Yeah, sure.
Go over it and then just go have fun, right? Like that's just what's going to happen, I think. But I want something rear wheel drive because I want to go do like a skid pad school thing and some other stuff.
The bang for buck, like I said, is in the Miata world, it's the NC.
Mm-hmm.
They've come down so much in price, especially the early ones, and they're such a good platform, and they're so especially now they're so well supported by Mazda and parts and availability that it is a really good platform. Yeah, as a one lap car, maybe not, just because, like you say, space. That's a big.
You could put a luggage rack on the hard top, a luggage rack on the trunk.
Definitely, or like trailer. I don't know. Are you allowed to do that in one lap?
I think you are. Run waterproof bags and zip.
Yeah, like get a bunch of moto bags and boat bags on the
boat
bag.
Bags, yeah, and just ratchet strap it to the.
I mean, if you don't have a passenger.
Oh no, it's supposed to be an adventure with my wife. She really wants to do it. So.
Oh, gotcha. That definitely makes it more difficult because now you got two people's luggage.
She's ride or die. Would be all right.
Well, I'm just saying, space wise, you need clothes. Like you're not gonna just run around.
It's a week. We hiked for 100 miles on the AT.
That's pretty good.
We did 6 days. We looked like Charlie Brown because we wore our clothes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at some point you're just gonna smell. There's no shower. Right?
Oh, I'm familiar. I did a bunch of backpacking when I was in Scouts. We did some backpacking in New Mexico.
Yeah,
backcountry.
Nice and warm.
For 14 days.
Oh, oof.
Yeah, over with all the side hikes we did, it was well over 100 miles.
Yeah, I bet
that was a lot of fun. That was a good time.
But okay,
anyway,
so the NC, I like them. I mean, you're right. I've looked; they're dirt cheap.
You could probably get an NC1 for like $3,500. It's going to be clapped out, but
I mean, is it clapped out enough to do like a 20-mile commute to work and then tinker on the weekends?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I mean, so you'll buy it, you'll do like all the fluids like you do when you buy a used car,
yeah,
and go through it and see what's dire.
Right. You're like, brake pads, whatever. Yeah, and then
it's definitely something you could slowly build and make, replace parts as you're driving it. And then if you get an NC1, just immediately set money aside for either an NC2 or NC3 front bumper because they're ugly. They're so ugly. They're terrible looking. Just get that in your head.
The NC1 is the hairstylist car.
Dude, it's so round in the front. It's so bad. The headlights are way too round. Yeah, so the NC3 is the best looking front end. It's like really hard angles.
The bumper?
You need headlights and bumper.
Okay.
But that's
But not fenders and hood?
Nope.
See?
Nope.
It's not that bad.
Headlights are from Mazda are really expensive.
eBay.
But the bumper cover from Mazda, I think, is like $500 or $600.
Okay.
I actually have one if you're serious and you actually want to make that happen.
I don't have a car yet.
Well, I'm just saying it may still be here when you get the car.
True.
And then, yeah, I mean, like I said, the RX-8 front hubs, direct bolt-on. They make the hub flange for the bigger bearings for the rear. And you probably never have to touch them, especially if you're on a 200 tread wear. Like, I think Camden, I don't know if he had to replace maybe one hub in a season of SMX with those RX-8s.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they just went to Hoosiers this year, but they were on the RR, the Toyo, for the first while. I guess the first, I don't know, 4 years that it was, because it was like a challenge series. And then 2 years ago or 1 year ago, the SCCA bought it they incorporated the rule set in and made it a national class.
So, okay. This is for my kid brother because he's got an ND. Let's talk ND.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm 5'5", and I'm also 5'5" wide.
Yeah.
I don't fit in the ND very well.
So I have the opposite problem.
Right.
I'm 6'5" and gangly. I'm like 200 pounds. So
yeah,
I can't drive those. Like I wouldn't want to drive those anywhere.
So the NC is the tall people car.
It's the biggest Miata.
Okay.
So the NA/NB, they're like the same size. The NB has a little less interior space because the door cards got big and the dash got a little different and the center console is a little bigger. And then the NC is like a boat compared to both of those. And then they cut a bunch of weight and went back to smaller car for the ND.
Okay.
And they're still pretty pricey. I mean, they're not cheap yet.
Not at all.
And the motors are a little high strung. There's not as many swap options like you get with the MZR because it was a joint operation with Mazda and Ford.
Yeah. Rumor is they're case swapping these things.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, somebody's got a subframe for that. I bet.
Soon, I think.
Yeah. I'm not surprised at all.
Rumors.
The Sky Active engine is good. I mean, they turned out 180 horsepower from the factory at the crank. And I've not had a ND on the dyno. I've dynoed everything else, but I haven't had an ND. Yeah, they're good cars. They look incredible. I love the way they look. And there's a couple different, they have the RF and like the retractable hardtop, and then they have the convertible. Yeah,
the top options seem a little crazy, and heavy.
The RF has like no headroom. It's so thick. A coworker, she's got one, and I was sitting in it. I'm like, in the passenger seat, I was like, this is tiny. Like I'm like scrunched down, and like my legs are in my chest. I was like, this is crazy. But I assume with the regular soft top, it's probably got a bunch more headroom. But yeah, still, you need that's the only thing with the Miatas is like, if you go track it, the first thing you have to do is put a roll bar in it. And
and pass the broomstick test.
Yeah, and those later cars it's a lot more of a pain. They've just got so much more trim in them.
Well, the IMSA cars, they're all going over the roof.
Yeah. Yeah, the roll cage.
Because there is no room for your helmet.
Well, they run them without a top too, which is crazy. Because now if you go drive one of those cars, like if you pay the money, you get in there, you've got to buy like a $5,000 helmet because it needs to be for an open wheel car.
Oh, it's open wheel rated helmet?
Yes. I was like, that's insane.
Hard pass.
Yeah. So
anyway.
Other than
it's like the brand new version of Crash Miata. The Daytona.
Yes, it is crash 'em up, but man, anyone from like 1st to 20th can win one of those races. It is true. Insane. That is, in terms of pro racing, that's probably the best pro racing out there. Like
it's wild.
I've gotten into F1 a little more over the years, but it's so kind of lame now. I'm not, and there's so many paywalls and like it's so uninteresting anymore. It feels like every time I watch one of those MX5 Cup races, I'm like screaming at the TV. Something is going on.
Yeah, and those races are actually really good. I'll tell you, it's a lot of can you keep up and save your tire. It's like the NASCAR version of road racing where you have to learn to save the car.
Yeah.
Because when it's time to pour it on or when the opportunity is there, you better have the tire to strike.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes like being up there, like pole or the top 10, it may not even be where you want to be by, I forget how many laps those usually are, but midway through the race, I mean, you should be somewhere up there, but sometimes that's like kill zone and it just goes sideways and you may or may not be coming out. So it's there's a lot that goes into those races. And yeah, I mean, like St. Pete a couple years ago, there was some nasty wrecks with some people we knew, some club racers, some Spec Miata guys. So that, yeah, I mean, but like the variety of drivers, it's coming from everywhere. Like, so the talent levels are just so mixed, and like I said, it's anybody's race every time. It feels like one of those when they start up.
It's great racing. I just don't think you can get into it cheaply.
MX5 Cup?
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. It's like, I think if you don't crash a car, it's like $250,000 for a season.
But even if you were to build your own to do an ST series or whatever.
Yeah, it's expensive, and the hard tops are ugly and fit like shit. And
yeah. What are they, like $15,000 for a good car? Or?
I don't know. I really haven't bothered to price one out because it seems so senseless to me to even try. Because they haven't come down very much over the past couple of years. I mean, yeah, they're like 10 years old now, and I have no idea. I haven't really checked Marketplace or anything to see how expensive those are.
I have, and I always look. And when I just type in Miata, right? Just because I'm a glutton for punishment.
Sure.
And when you filter, the NC is the banger, right?
Oh, for sure.
They're not old enough to be too rusty. I mean, obviously, if you're buying out of Wisconsin or New York or something,
even locally, you got to be careful,
right?
Yeah,
but you can find clean Southern cars, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
The NANBs, they're becoming
good luck. If you find a clean one, it's going to be expensive,
right? So it's going to be more than the NC, and then there's just so much stuff out there for the NC right now.
I'm biased. They're so much better. I have raced almost every generation. I haven't raced an ND, but I've raced competitively NA, NB, and an NC. Well, I haven't raced the NC yet. I've driven it on track. Sorry, but
thank you for qualifying that.
Well,
some people are like, I went racing.
Well, right. Like, it's like you went and did a track day. I mean, I appreciate the enthusiasm, but calm down. You didn't win.
Amen. Preach.
And so, like, even with drop floors, because there's a lot of drop floor kits out for the NAs and NBs. Mm-hmm. They help tremendously. And honestly, if you're putting a fiberglass seat in any of those chassis, just accept the fact that you need a drop floor, no matter what size you are.
I'm 5'5". I would drop floor just for the sake
you'll get your head away from the roll cage.
Right.
It's so much safer.
Legal distance.
And it makes my life easier trying to mount the seats in there. If you've never tried to mount a seat in a Miata, I don't want to hear about how much it cost or, why is it so expensive.
I need to bring my seat. I want to see if it actually fits in an NC.
Yeah.
I have the Sawbelt GT pad.
See, that's kind of what I wanted to get for this car because I was endurance racing it.
Yeah,
and I figured if I could
the
pads out.
Well, I mean, I haven't had TJ on, but recently, but now they have the form fits.
Yes.
There's $200 to $500 form fits. The technology is getting insane.
They're hard as rocks. They just did one for Livy's car.
Did they?
And she's got two because she's tiny.
Right.
But she's having some issues anyway.
Shout out to Horsepower Marketing.
Yeah. So we put it I had it on the dyno to try and replicate some issues that she was experiencing on track. And I had to pull all those pads out and when I was doing that, I sat down and I missed one of the pads. I was like, oh my goodness, that's like a rock. And so, yeah, and then I tossed it over there, and it made a noise hitting the floor of the car.
Yeah, but imagine 10 years ago, we were...
You pouring them in trash bags and like getting it all in your hair and...
Yeah. Yeah.
The foam, yeah.
Or not to do that, you were going to a pro shop.
Yeah.
And they were charging you out of the wazoo to keep it out of your hair, essentially,
yeah.
right? Like,
yeah.
But now you can do it at home. We're coming a long way.
I agree. I just my only point is like I don't think you should, you know, if you're expecting it to be nice and soft, like it's like if you sat in your seat without any pads. So you still need to have some extra level there, I think.
Well, yeah, because if it's that hard and you're doing a 2-hour stint in an endurance car,
no way. I've done half hour, 45 minutes in a seat without a pad on the bottom. I was like, nope, I'll sit up a little higher. Give me that pad, please.
Maybe you're too bony. I can do the bottom pad. No bottom pad is not a problem, but
like a back pad.
The back pad.
There's no way I would do that either. Yeah, I'm skinny.
I'm thick with 2 C's, so it's just one of those things, right? Like but we're coming a long way. I'm honestly, I was surprised that the Sawbelt GT pad fit in my 8th gen Civic.
Sure.
TJ, bring one over here. I want to see if it fits in an NC, because that would be...
I've talked to him about it. This is a very budget build. I don't have a lot of money, and most of how this got paid for was my buddy. So
right.
There were things that we had to just kind of accept the fact of.
I mean, you have a OMP. Which one
that's an HTER 400, so that's tiny.
Oh, I had the HTER, but I had the wide. I think,
yeah, that's the skinny one. That's going in this car that we're doing a drop floor in.
Definitely can't fit in the skinny.
No, you're not fitting in that one.
No.
Maybe a cheek or a thigh.
Yeah, maybe.
And that one's too big for me, but I've got some bigger drivers that are running the race, so that one's staying in for now. But I agree that GT pad was really appealing to me building this car. But I have no idea how well it fits. That one fits really well, but it's probably as big as I want to go.
Okay.
I
want to see if it fits, and then I actually want to buy the small pad.
Yeah.
Because I have places that like around my head where I want to shrink it.
Yeah.
And then you tighten up some areas, and then
so
you can't get any looser.
A few years ago, we bought the X pad for a customer, and it was like a kid, and so they were like struggling to fill out that seat. So I ended up buying a GT pad kit for that seat to fit the kid in the tiniest Sawbelt seat that you could get. And that worked really well. I did like that pad kit. It came with all kinds of different sizes, even, for the whole seat. But yeah, there's whatever 3 sizing options for it for just the pad kit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a feeling that seat might be too big. Well,
not for me.
For the car, but depending on how it's positioned, like I have to have it all the way back, and like you can see the seat is like under the cage. It's really low. I'm into the package shelf in the back. Yeah, it's tall boy approved.
Okay. So a couple of more questions, and I have a 2026 segment I have to get to because I want to hear your opinion on it. But if you were to build an unlimited time attack car, which chassis are you picking?
Out of the Miatas?
Mm-hmm.
NC? Yeah, all day long. The problem with the NDs is they're kind of fragile.
Okay.
They have a lot of crumple zones. And if you wreck that thing, it's probably if you crash it, it's probably rode off.
Yeah, so the Daytona crash this year.
Fliss Performance was raking it in after that Daytona race. Those are the only guys that can build those cars. Those IMSA So yeah, so that they were real busy.
They wrote off a bunch of those. Huh?
They wrote off a bunch of cars and they built a bunch of cars. So they were
okay
behind on work.
Okay, so yeah. All right, so you'd build an NC. There's lots of options for,
Well, me personally, again, it's the biggest Miata. I fit in these without a ton of modifications. Like all on this one I had to do was cut the.
But the engine bay is bigger, isn't it?
I mean, you can get an LS and all the other in an NA or NB. So
yeah, but they're not wide enough.
Yeah, they are.
No, I mean,
to fit like tires.
Yeah, tire. When you put an LS in an NA NB, like
the wheelbase is way too short. I mean,
even
putting an
shorter,
LS in one of these would be
a little short.
It's definitely a little short. But yeah, I mean, by the time these are 245s and they fit no problem. Like I said, I had to roll the rear fender.
Now I'm putting an LS in an NC. I want 300 series in here somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah,
that'd be.
I don't know, man. Like it's just like an unlimited time attack. I don't know how I would go on that. I mean, I think LS would be the answer. Just reliable torque and power.
Yeah.
Without, because turbo kits, they're great and all, but it's a lot of effort to get those set up right.
Okay.
It's a lot of cooling, a lot of piping. I think drop it in an LS.
Smaller window for your.
Yeah, like you put an LS3 in this, they make 400 horsepower. It's like. And it's not a ton of modification, and you don't have to try and fit a turbo and intercooler and all this other stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, with a ton of aero and a big wide body kit, I think you'd have a hell of a car.
So spec series, are we going back to the NC?
If I to pick,
yeah,
okay. I would go Spec MX-5 again on no budget,
right? So the spec Miata, the NANB spec series, is cheaper
to start.
Yes,
I think it probably is a little cheaper to run too, but the competition's kind of falling off a little bit. And I don't know, man. In at least in SCCA and with SM, there's a lot of games. There's a lot of drama all the time.
It's been that way forever.
It was the VVT was the car to have. And now it's back to the 99s because the VVTs have all these problems with cutting off, and I'm sure people have figured it out, but there's not like a definite legal answer to the issue.
Yeah, those who figured it out have kept their mouth shut. Probably.
Or I don't know. I just know they have problems. I've experienced the problems. And I don't know. The camaraderie, I don't know. There's no camaraderie in SMX either. So but I like the cars better. It's more power. Everything is spec. Like the cars are all the same in Spec MX-5. There's no difference in engines. There's no 1.6, 1.8. There's no VVT. The engines are all the same. All the same weight. You have to run the 6-speed. You have to have this. You have to have that. Same wheel and tire combo. Have to have the wheels. You have to run Paget brakes, brake pads. Right. If you want to go to a class and never have to think about whether or not it's the car or you bought the wrong engine or you bought the wrong year, like this, they figured it out with this as far as spec racing goes, I think, because it is laid out. Okay. These are the parts that you can run. And if it doesn't say you can run it, you cannot run it. Well, I mean, and you even have to have AIM data because you have to send it out within an hour after every session. Oh, I'm not kidding you, because they're looking at, because the mass airflow sensor and all that stuff's tied in. It's all coming through the can. So they look at every session you have to send. Good for them. It's crazy. I don't think it's crazy, because I remember I meant that in like a good way. Like it's insane. Like we have the technology now to do that. Like there's no cheat. You cannot cheat. I mean, like I said, they DQ'd people for oil filters. Oh, you can cheat. People still cheat. Yeah, but you have to be really, really good at it, and most people are not very good at cheating. Yeah, I mean, people still do it, which
I don't condone at all, because what are you winning? A $5 piece of plastic or wood or whatever? Like,
how does that feel too? Like, this is a club race. You've cheated. You won, and now like
every
but
cheater
now
who's
you
been
have
caught.
You have to live with that too.
Every cheater who's been caught has the justification. They're also cheating. You just didn't.
And it's
catch them.
mostly like, it's never like the top 10. It's the below the top 10. It's the guy's like, well, I'm cheating and he's beating me, so he must be cheating too.
Right.
Which is never the case. I hear that all the time. I still hear it in SSM. I still, it's not true. Develop your car. Spend the time that person spent developing that car and putting the effort in.
It's absolutely true.
And then, maybe we can talk, but blaming, oh, they're making more horsepower or they're doing this or that. It's like, no, they put in the effort to get there.
Okay. Here's a question, since you deal with these all the time. In a spec car,
Mm-hmm.
how important is it to dial your cold tire pressures in?
Critical. Absolutely critical. Let me rephrase. Tire pressure is critical. Cold pressure, that's not how I do it.
I'm assuming you already know what your hot is, so you know what your heat rate is to get to your hot.
So it's a window, right? Every tire manufacturer gives you a window. And what window, what are you fast on? What do you like? Like, at a certain point, it's like personal preference.
That speaks to the work in the development.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
Like, you have to do the work.
So, like, we rent cars. We have customers. We get it within a window. If they're complaining about something, we'll adjust whatever it is that they need. But that feedback is what, if you're not renting from us, or, you're doing this for yourself, you need to ask yourself, what is the car doing that I don't like? Like, these test days in SCCA for SSM, like, these guys are going out, they're not testing anything. They're just running out. They're going out there and going 10 tenths and black flagging a session because they went 11 tenths. So back to tire pressure. It's important. It's important data to have. You need to take it. Understand, and you need to try things. You need to, I don't know. The car felt like this. All right, we'll lower the tire pressures, like a lot, like not a pound, like
5.
Yes. Did it feel better or worse? Okay, well then let's adjust. And then same with sway bars. It's like, in SSM, they're adjustable. Go out, see. Did you like that? Did you not like that? Make a big adjustment. Don't make a half a bar change. Don't change just one side. Change both sides. Go full stiff. Go full soft. Find what you like and don't like, and either ask yourself, ask somebody, like, hey, this is what I'm experiencing. Most of these guys will share whatever information they have with you. Nobody's hiding anything, especially the guys at the top. Like, nobody's hiding anything. They've just put in the work and figured out what works for them.
So this is my ignorance on spec racing. Spec Miata, let's say.
Okay.
There's one right there.
There is.
Okay. The alignment.
Yep.
How flexible is the alignment in spec Miata?
It's a window. It's within,
can't exceed X, not below Y?
Right.
Okay.
So I'll throw out some numbers. I mean, some guys, like, it's between like an eighth out, an eighth in to like 0 toe in the rear and 0 toe out in the front. Like, it just depends on the driver.
Right. And so, but that's what I'm trying to get to. That's part of the work that you have to do.
Yeah, you got
to all cars. Even in the spec series, you have to go, well,
these are all the things you can change. Like,
correct.
Like rake. That's a huge thing in these cars.
Your driving style will dictate what your alignment is. You can't go, hey, Schmuckatelli, what's your alignment?
Well,
I'm
you
gonna
can,
use,
and
that's
you
where
can try
start.
it. Yeah. Like, okay, what do you like for alignment specs? All right, cool. What do you like for alignment specs? All right, cool. So let me try one of those and see if I feel a difference, or if I'm,
Right.
we have so much access to data now too. Like, a solo is cheap. Like, throw that in your car. Get your lap times, get your min speeds in all the corners. Figure out, I get a lot of times people are like, "Oh, they're just motoring me down the straight." It's like, "Well, what was your exit speed out of 10?"
Yeah.
Cuz if you're 2
For
miles
real.
an hour different, of course he's going to be motoring past you. He's 2 miles an hour faster out of the turn. Like,
yeah.
That's kind of the bubble people get into in spec racing, is like they have it in their heads that because truly they are driving as hard as they can, but maybe they're turning in a little early and it's forcing them wide in the turn, and they're like, I don't know how to, like, I can't go any faster through the turn because I run out. But it's like, well, if you're turning in a little early, that's gonna do that.
Cheap trick. If you turn in early, your apex is in the dirt. Get there. That I'm not lying. Like, if I find myself like I turned in early and the car didn't rotate enough, I'm pointing into the dirt. I mean, there's going to be 2 tires on the loaded tires on the pavement still,
Yeah,
but I'll still be.
but you feel like you're doing everything you can.
Yeah,
and you're like running out of track, and you don't understand why. I know, because I've done it. I've had somebody tell me, like, dude, you're turning in early everywhere. It's like,
it's easy.
Well, that makes sense. I've been trying all these other things. No wonder.
Look, it's easy at turn 10 at Summit Point.
Yeah.
Because somebody invariably will tell you the turn-in point is the shadow of the power line that goes across the track.
Yeah, and guess
And
what?
that
If it's noon, exactly. Turn 10 is tough in that way because there's like a patch of dirt over there, and there's like the tire wall over here. It gets a little tricky sometimes to nail your braking point for that. But I think turning in early, as somebody that did it, probably still does it, trying to fix it, it makes you feel like you can't get to the power sooner. It makes you feel like you can't, if you turn in early and you're running out of track, like, I can't be on the power sooner because I'm all the way out here, so there's a lot of other explanations for why your lap times are lower than so-and-so. It's not always power. It's,
Well, in spec, I'm not even in spec racing. I'm in a balance of power class.
Right.
Okay. But so it's worse in spec racing. If you're half a mile an hour off in every corner at Summit Point, it can cost you a metric ton.
Yeah, especially 10.
Yeah.
Like, if you mess up 10, it's a big deal.
10,
They're all important.
10, 3, 4.
3 is a big one. 3 is a big one. I still have trouble in 3. 3 is a big one where you can make up some time. Same with 4. 4 is big commitment. Like, in these cars,
I can only imagine because you have 0 aero. What are you guys on? Spec Miata is what, a 205 tire?
Yep.
So you're on it.
If it's a Spec Miata, you're on a Hoosier. If it's SSM, you're on a Toyo.
Yeah, they're teeny tires still.
Mm-hmm.
And no aero.
No aero.
So that means your turn in, how you balance the car on turn in, every bit of it counts for turn 4 at Summit Point. And if you're off,
in these cars, you should be flat. I kid you not. I have done it. It is scary.
I've gone through turn 4 flat one time and vowed that I will never do it again in my Civic. But
now, I say that some people.
What's your min speed
in 4?
Yeah,
I'd have to check some data.
It's
your entry is
blistering.
high.
Yeah,
it is. It's in the SSM. It's probably 100
at turn
plus.
In.
Yeah. So it's
no
it's high commitment.
No joke. Yeah.
Now there's some schools of thought on turn 4 too. Like, and I kind of agree with some of them. Is like, you can go flat through there, but getting the car woed down for 5 becomes kind of a handful.
Right.
So sometimes giving just a little bit up there will gain you, because then you can get back to power sooner. So but
see, I find I don't know, because I have torque. I have much more tire. I'm on a 245 front on a front wheel drive car.
Yeah.
I have aero. I have
What kind of lap times does that thing do?
high 23s, mid 23s.
Yeah, okay.
So 123s, sorry. There's two people who run Summit Point regularly. We know to edit the 1 minute out. My optimals are like lower, but stringing Summit Point for being 10 turns, you work more than you think you are, and you need to be brave, much more brave than you are.
Yeah.
That's the period with Summit Point.
Yeah.
And
it's very nuanced.
It is. I love it. But so some people are like, turn 5 is a throwaway. And I said, no, it's not a throwaway, because the reason for turn 5 is to make sure you don't screw up 6.
Yes. In most cars, I would say, if you are not able to be rolling in flat from like 6, in between 6A, if you're not flat by then and staying flat, you've got to change something. Because that's going to set you up. I mean, especially in these cars, like if you're not flat from in the Miatas, it's like you enter in 6A, little tap of the brake to settle the nose.
Set the nose, yeah.
Turn in, and then it's back to power. I mean, you should be flat from there all the way to 10.
Correct. So you have to stab the nose for 10 and turn in. And...
Yep. Yeah. So, and if you're not, there's a problem.
Yeah. Even breathing in 9.
Yeah.
If you're breathing in 9, you're costing yourself more time. This is for the Miata people. It's also
it's for everybody. I mean, if you're not comfortable doing that in your car, there's something wrong, or you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, and a lot of it has to do with the setup, right? So not
the car or the turn,
or in your vehicle, or how you set up the 6A, 6B, 7, 8, right? So like it. We're gonna coach people on Summit Point. We've sort of digressed, but
this hour podcast is going to turn into like a 5-hour podcast.
Yeah, we're not Joe Roganing it, but we're over an hour. So the answer is NC. All my Miata people, if you won't buy a Corvette, which you fit more tire, you get more power. You can't get a Corvette for what you can get at NC. At least
you can get
NC1.
raised wheels from Mazda for them. It's crazy. Like
they're beautiful. We need to talk about this. Yeah, if you won't commit to a C5 with 300 horsepower, big tires,
I'm a fan. Yeah, I think I agree with you on that. If you don't want a C5 and you want something rear wheel drive,
then you get an NC.
And then you get an NC.
That's where I am. Okay,
yeah,
that's what
I think I agree.
So. The NC is where you need to be.
I hate to say that, because I don't want to tell everybody, because I want the cheap NCs for myself. But I mean,
people have to commit. There's a lot of, like you said, in the spec. If you want to go towards the spec route or build your car for the track, and you want to mimic some of the spec.
Yeah. So the other cool thing is SCCA does club spec, which is like there's a Mustang and the NC, and a lot of the parts to do club spec for the NC are parts for Spec MX-5.
Okay.
So you could dip your toe in with club spec and kind of slowly build your NC into a spec car over time, if that's something you wanted to do.
I mean, if you pick up this is poor advice from somebody who's never done it, so you feel free to correct me. But if you pick up an NC, 1, 2, 3, whatever, whichever version you pick up, okay, and you go, I think I want coilovers.
Yep.
Why not look at what the spec sheet says?
Yeah, go to Mazda and try and get some Penske's,
right?
Because that will let you do club spec, it will let you do Spec MX5. The spring rates, I would say, are a little high, but it is what it is. That's the spec rate. Get used to it.
But also, you're like, man, this is a little clapped out. Maybe I should get a radiator. What's the MX cup? Or
the MX5, the Spec MX5 radiator.
Right.
It's expensive.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, but
I'm
yeah,
cheap. I would buy a Koyo Rad
if you're building this car, like any car you buy to go racing, what is your goal? What's your end goal? What's your, because too many times people build cars without a real goal. Then all of a sudden they have this car that doesn't fit in a class, that doesn't fit in anything, and they want to go racing, but they've hacked, they've chopped something off, they put a different engine in it. Now it doesn't fit in anything, and it can't really race wheel to wheel with anything. So when you're modifying something and you have road course racing or track days in mind, try and just take a moment to think what would be the coolest thing. What right now I can't do it, but maybe in the future, like if you wanted to go racing, what would that look like with this car?
What's your 5-year plan look like? If
right.
In 5 years you want to be in an unlimited time attack, then do whatever
you want. But if the goal is like cheaper than that, because that gets expensive.
Yeah, ridiculously expensive.
Tires, wheels. I mean,
yeah.
If you're building an NC, think about that. And not only that, but like resale value.
Right.
Like if you put a bunch of spec parts on it and be like, these are all the Spec MX5 parts, it makes it more sellable.
Remove roll bar, add cage, Spec MX5.
Exactly.
It'd probably get some attention. So.
Right. More so than TN coilovers whatever.
Some random
stuff.
Just
like, anyway, it doesn't matter. But, something, just think about it a little bit before you start modifying, or call me, ask me, email me. I'm happy to answer questions.
RP Performance.
Dave at rpperformanceracing.com.
Yeah. Send him an email. I hope that doesn't really mess you over too bad. Shouldn't be too many Miata people, but we'll see what happens.
It is what it is.
Okay. So let's talk about the 2026 segment.
Okay.
You said you've run the NANB.
Mm-hmm.
You've driven the NC on track.
Yes.
What else have you driven on track?
An E30 built for endurance racing.
Okay.
I guess that's kind of it. Some IT cars here and there.
Okay.
Yeah, as far as like on track experience, honestly, it's not a ton.
Okay.
I had my comp license. I got that a few years ago, but that was in an NB, and then I got my comp license, and then I moved, and I went and did an endurance race in a car I'd never driven, on a track I'd never driven.
That's fair.
And we were pretty successful. It was a great weekend. And then came back and did some races in an SSM with VRG, did the Jefferson 500 in one of our cars. That was a lot of fun. It's different.
Around here, you can't go to an antique store without seeing Jefferson 500 artwork around. It's amazing.
The event is really cool. Like if you want to come and see some cars you've never seen or never heard of, definitely come out for the 500. It is so cool.
I need to come out for it. I have some of the artwork in my office at home that I normally record out of because, Summit Point is my home track.
Yeah, same. It's on me forever. So.
Oh yeah, inked out no less. So here's the question, the real question.
Okay.
Miata aside, if you're building a race car, are you putting ABS on the car or no ABS?
Absolutely ABS.
Okay.
This car has ABS. The endurance car has ABS. It's the best thing in the world.
Okay.
I've driven multiple cars without ABS.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. You get used to it, but having a car with ABS to kind of like save you is just awesome. Yeah. This car, especially, the brakes on it are incredible. That's actually one of the things you should look for if you're buying NC. Get one with dynamic stability control, DSC.
Okay.
The ABS pump is different. You want DSC. Don't get one without it
Okay.
because the braking performance is not the same.
Really?
Yes, the ABS is different. The pump is smaller. The lines are smaller. It's a totally different system.
Okay. So, technique with your ABS. Are you on the ABS all the time? Or are you thresholding and letting it save you?
That is definitely a point of contention for a lot of people. The hardcore sprint racers will tell you on the ABS every turn.
Just ride it.
Every turn. The problem is if you get into, there is like, they call it like an ice mode, or you get a hard pedal if you go on too sticky of a tire and too much brake input, like initial brake
if you jump
pressure.
too hard on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It can either, I don't know what the right word to use would be. The ABS system does not like it. And it will go into some mode, or it like locks up one of the pistons inside the unit, and you'll get a hard pedal without any brake input. So the harder you press, doesn't matter. You have to let off of the brake pedal. It's the same in E46s.
Right.
You have to let off for like a second and then get back on to get brake again. And so if you know about that and you get accustomed to it, you could probably be on the ABS all the time. But it is a possibility. It's not a possibility. It will happen. If you get in the ABS all the time, it's going to happen. And it's not fun.
Yeah.
It's definitely not fun driving these without ABS too. So you either have to do a different braking system or make sure your ABS is working right, because the biasing in the NC is done through the ABS unit. And you'll go into turn one, ask me how I know, and you won't have any bias, and your rears are locking up, and you're like, what's going on? And you look up and there's a cloud of smoke, and you're like, oh, great, there's, what's that, 2 tires.
Right.
And there's little things on these cars that will, like the brake light switch on the pedal has to be working. If it isn't work, if you don't have rear brake lights, you don't have ABS.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So really small, minute things will make this car a little scary to drive, and they are horrendous to drive without ABS. Like that biasing is just, that's how it does it. When it works, it's amazing, but if it's not working, it is not fun.
I can imagine. I've had my ABS go out on my Civic one time, and it happened to be when I decided I needed it. And yeah, I lost the podium position for that one because we were at VIR going into turn 4, and I was like, yeah, oh well, there I am, and there was no way to catch him. So
there you were.
I was, yeah, for sure. So
what ABS is that? Just the stock?
The stock factory ABS.
Yeah,
and
I'd love to drive something with some like actual motorsport ABS.
That's a whole different ballgame. I don't even.
That has to be incredible. You have to feel like a hero every time.
I'm worried about is not flat spotting the tires. Bought, right?
The ABS system on these NCs is, I would say, it's very good.
Okay.
Especially on like 200 treadwears. Like, it's a little wacky. It's definitely different. I have the Mazda sells a Spec MX-5 ECU, so it's flash. So they change like the cam timing and ignition timing and a couple other things, and it wakes it up immensely. But I don't know if there's something they do ABS wise in there. I don't know if it's possible through just the ECU. I know it's tied in, but anyway, it's good ECU, and you can just buy it from Mazda. It's tuned,
and it's not key tied and all that stuff.
Nope, they get rid of all that. They get rid of the immobilizer. So the trouble you have with tuning some of these, mine was a special circumstance because it was a shell, and then I bought a car, and then I tried to put all the stuff from the parts car into this chassis because this chassis was nicer than the parts car. It was a big debacle. I tried to buy credits to the ECU to flash it, but they couldn't do it because the key, it was a mess. And so I ended up just buying the ECU from Mazda, and done deal. Because you have to have the gauge cluster has to be from the same car. The key has to be from the same car. The ignition switch. The ECU has to match. There's a couple of other, I think there's some other things in there too.
My interior fuse box has to be from the same car.
That doesn't, I don't think that matters, but yeah, I'd called this company up too to get a tune or not get a tune, but so that I could tune it. Mm-hmm. And I told them what was going on, and they're like, oh yeah, no problem. We can get rid of that. BS. I was so mad. I wasted $200.
Right.
And I didn't get anything from them.
Yeah. All right, Dave. Anything else we need to talk about these Miatas here?
I don't know. They're cool cars, man. They're a lot of fun to race. If you want to get into racing, we can help you out. But if you just want a daily driver, they're awesome. They're great cars. I don't know. Like, I'm not... I love cars. I don't daily drive one of these. Like,
they might be the cheapest rear-wheel drive you can get right now still.
Probably. And
at least that's reliable.
Right, and super reliable. Yeah, no, they're great cars. I like working on them. They're pretty easy to work on. And I like cars in general. They're not just, that's not all I work on.
Oh, yeah. I was here getting tires bust on at a Summit Point event, and right-hand drive, Toyota something pulled in here. There was all sorts of stuff.
Oh, yeah, the Chaser. That was my buddy Andre. Yep.
Yeah, they don't just play with Miatas necessarily.
If it's a race car, I'm down to work on it.
Sweet. All right, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, man. It was fun.
Until next time, keep working on yourself, keep working on the car, and let's get faster.